Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Jean Christian Rindoni, founder and CEO of Symbiosis Infinity Group, a consulting and business development firm focused on conscious and sustainable growth. So we learn from him about his exploring across 20 plus years, working in over 30 countries, helping global companies build ethical partnership with smaller producers in developing regions. So we learn about that and also about the symbiosis effect, how that redefines traditional supply chain thinking, why circular models are moving from theory into practice, and how conscious business leadership can turn sustainability into a strategic advantage. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show, Jane. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe, a lot of businesses across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll talk about conscious business, we'll talk about ethical supply chains, and much more. But before that, let's talk a bit about your journey, your background, so that the audience knows who they are listening to.
Yes, thank you, AJ, for asking that. So my background is I started my career as a diplomat back in 2000, and then quickly noticed that through my family lineage, I have an entrepreneurial spirit. So decided to move forward to being an entrepreneur. And step by step, this led me to be able to travel all around the world and be put in different situations on all the continents, from Asia to Africa, Middle East, and Europe, and be able to, have a different point of view about how business is done in different countries, but also how business is done according to different backgrounds and different level of company growth. So I was able and privileged to, be able to secure deals and be able to discuss with, very big multinational companies and negotiate deals in luxurious boardroom. Also be put in an environment like, for example, in Nigeria or in central China, to negotiate deals with small suppliers on two pieces of cardboard, plastic chairs, and a cup of tea. And it really showed me how, in fact, as human beings, we all seek the same things, a security, happiness for our families, and our business to grow in a positive manner so that it can influence positively not only our families, but our communities. And this sense really brought me to the realization that we all are seeking the same thing, but the manners of doing things are different. And this is where I realized that I had, the notions and the skills to be able to create this bridge between the smaller companies in developing regions and bigger companies in developed markets to really bring my expertise in terms of bringing more sustainability, circularity, and ethical mindset when it comes to doing business.
Absolutely, Jane. Absolutely. So, to understand this better in a common small business person's language, how should they understand what is it that you are talking about? Is it realistic? Is it utopian that you talk about?
Yes, thank you for asking that. I think that a lot of companies, are small or big, are already doing a lot of great things without knowing them, without putting a name onto it. And it was the same for me before I started on this journey. In the way that I handle my personal and life and my business deals, I always put a lot of emphasis on consciousness, a lot of emphasis on being authentic, and a lot of emphasis on being ethical and fair. So I think that we all, as human beings, we all have an inherent values that are our core, but we just don't put a name onto it. And this name is conscious business growth. So conscious business growth comes from conscious capitalism. That was a movement most created mainly by John Mackey, CEO of Whole Foods in the 90s. And it's the principle that business should be a force for good. That means, of course, it's important for business to generate profit, but not at all cost. The most important is, the first step for every company, like every human being, I believe, is to find your purpose. So finding your purpose is essential to building a conscious business growth approach, because without purpose, you cannot define why you're in business. And I always compare, the profit as the breath for a human being. As human beings, we need to breathe in order to live, but breathing is not our purpose. However, business need profit, they need cash, they need money, but your purpose should not solely be based on profit. And regarding the conscious business growth, we over the years it has been proven that companies that put together circularity and sustainability within their system and processes actually financially perform much better than companies that use either short-term or linear way of thinking in their business practices. So whether you're a small company, medium company, or a large company, you can easily, not easily, but through our expertise and expertise of advisors like us, we can easily help you and support you in creating this value chain that spreads across your ecosystem while still making more profit. Of course, it takes a little bit more time, but when you have this kind of consciousness in doing way of doing business, you're here for the long term. Not for it's making money, making better money than you would do from a linear model on a more, I would say, larger scale, longer scale, while contributing to the positive development of your business ecosystem, whether it is your consumers, your employees, your suppliers, and of course, in some cases, your shareholders.
Absolutely, Jin. Absolutely. But let me ask you this way: who is your target audience in terms of your message? Who is listening? Because you talk about purpose. More and more and more and more profit is a purpose of a lot of companies. Are you targeting them? Do you think they don't know it? Don't you think that a lot of things are impacting the environment? They know it, but they still do it. So, do you think they will understand? That is why I ask, who is the target of your message? Who are you wanting to understand these things? Help us understand from that point of view.
Sure. Thank you for asking that. So we typically work with small to medium-sized companies, not very large multinationals. I mean, companies that range from $50 million turnover to $200 to $300 million turnover, and that have either already put in place a conscious business mindset or want to put it in place. Our goal is basically to be able to come in and create some added value within the supply chain of these companies in order to bridge them with companies and producers in developing markets. I'll give you a very concrete example that we're working on, a very exciting project that is shaping up very nicely. It's around cocoa husk. So a lot of people know about cocoa beans in order to make chocolate, but a few people know about cocoa husk. So cocoa husk is basically the shell that's around the beans, and that is clearly underutilized by the farmers in developing regions. Now, this cocoa husk have tremendous industrial applications, such as nutrients and food ingredients. It can also serve as a material for sustainable and recyclable packaging material. And there are some advanced studies that are being made for it to be utilized in biofuels. Now, today, I'm sure that a lot of the listeners and watchers know the cocoa industry is in complete crisis because the price have been dropping down. The farmers cannot pay back their debt, and therefore they need to find alternative source of revenues. Well, this material is sitting on the ground and is extremely valuable to different industries. And what we help do is structure the circularity around this supply chain so that the farmers can build a value chain that connects with buyers around the world, and then therefore having a positive contribution not only to their environment, because these shells are sitting on the ground and they can be used, but also help them to develop new revenue streams, improve their livelihood, create innovation, while giving the opportunities to countries and companies around the world to have direct access to raw material that is extremely valuable for their value chain while developing circularity. Now, this is, the first, I would say, phase. What we're looking for here is to go beyond that. Why? Because sending a raw material is great, but going beyond that and having a local transformation at source where companies that are engaged into this circular supply chain can integrate their partnership in a much deeper way by co-investing in innovation and transformation unit to have this raw material transformed at source and then exported worldwide. And this creates a lot more added value to the communities, to the planet, to the stakeholders that are involved, and can benefit also all the companies that are looking for this raw material, that are transforming it in their country, but they can do it locally in partnership directly with the producers and being much more competitive. And this is an essential part of what we call the symbiosis infinity loop that we created around our business model, and it is very successful in different verticals, whether it is in agriculture, in textile, or any type of other vertical that can bring circularity and sustainability in terms of the processes.
Absolutely, Gene. So, which part of the world are these projects happening? In your part of the world or in other parts of the world? I want to understand if this is something one can be optimistic about.
Sure. Thank you for asking that. So right now, what we're focusing is developing our network in Europe and other parts of the world as well, Asia and North America. We have a very big presence in Southern Europe, Spain, Portugal, but also France, and Germany, and the UK. And we are also working a lot now with South America, with Brazil, where we are in contact with big companies that are in food transformation in order to be able to bring this cocoa husk, for example, to be transformed into a powder. So we are rapidly expanding through our network of 1,200 consultants around the world, because we are part of the Conscious Business Network, and we work with 1,200 consultants around the world. That's allowing us to have a major reach out and targeted reach out as well to the companies that are interested in working with us. Right now, our main focus is Western Africa. So mainly we work with Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Senegal, and Benin. But I have to say that our model is duplicable to any country or any parts of the world where there is a raw material that has great potential not only for exports, but also for local transformation at source, and that can bring circularity and sustainability. We have started with cocoa husk because we see that as a huge potential now this year. This was the start for 2026. We see that as a huge potential because it checks all the boxes. As I was mentioning earlier, it presents an additional revenue stream for farmers. It has great innovation possibilities, and it is in increasingly high demand in key industries such as the food industry, the cosmetic industry, the packaging industry, and the biofuel industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. If I heard you correctly, there was not much mention about the about the U.S., Canada, and that part of the world.
Yes. So paradoxically, conscious capitalism has been created in the U.S. And it has developed very fast in the U.S. I'm personally based in Portugal, so I always privilege the human contact. That means be able to meet people face to face. So of course, as being a large organization relying on a wide amount of network, we have our consultants that are working constantly with us to spread the word and to be able to contact companies in different parts of the world. So now, of course, our focus is Europe and South America. And I think that the next phase, once we consolidate our market shares and our stronghold and our contacts in these regions, then the next steps will be definitely to move to North America. That means Canada and the United States. Right now, what we see as the the easiest bridge is definitely between Africa and Europe. Why? Because it's very close. Because we see that there is a lot of the chocolate makers as well, or food ingredient companies. The major food ingredient companies are based in Europe, and we are focusing on that at the moment. But of course, we are not closing the door to any possibilities of doing ethical business with companies worldwide.
Absolutely, absolutely, Jean. So, in terms of the local producers, how much will they benefit? How are they benefiting? Because already so much growth has already happened. They have also themselves become smart and have started negotiating. How better terms are you giving through your model to those local producers? Also, not binding them into any contract, but to make sure that they have freedom to see where what serves them best.
Yes, that's a very good question, AJ. Thank you for asking it. So, first of all, the way we operate is we operate through a network of partners. So, for example, in Cameroon, we work with a wonderful organization that's called Roots and Suits and Power, and they are a local sustainable and circularity agency that is in direct contact with the producers and the farmers. So we rely on this type of partnerships to really have a strong foothold on the ground and be able to connect also in a more deeper level, culturally and ethically, with these local cooperatives. Now, what we do and the way we structure our processes is and our business deal is that we encourage the companies that work with us according to the model that we design and implement is to pay a premium compared to what they used to pay. And this is already done in many types of industries, like the coffee industry, like the cocoa industry, for example. But one thing that differentiates our approach is that it actually benefits the producers directly. Because if you take for example, your organic coffee or your fair trade coffee, you're going to pay a premium of 15 to 20%. But this premium is not going to the producers. The consumer pays the premium, but is going to all the other intermediaries. That means the importer, that means the retailer, and all the other intermediaries. That means that the premium is paid by the consumer, but it doesn't support the growth of the supplier. And this is where we come in. We shorten the chain. We put directly in contact with the local farmers and producers so that this premium that is paid by the end client or the buyer to the producer goes directly to the producer. Now, this premium that is paid within our negotiations and our legal contractual framework that we build is that our agreement with the producers is that part of the premium that is paid to you by the buyer is going to go first to innovation. So innovation is very important because companies or local cooperatives and farmers in developing regions, they don't have the means to innovate. They don't have enough profit in order to grow their business with an innovation mindset. And this is extremely important to reverse. Why? Because with innovation, you can differentiate your product range. You can improve the diversity of products that you can put on the market. And this can service the clients that you're already servicing with additional flavors, types of raw material, or types of semi-finished product according to the demand of the particular buyers that you're working with. Second part of the profit that and premium that we help get goes directly to the communities or community startup that are working within the stakeholder environment of this developing region, cooperatives, farmers, or companies. Why do we do that? Because we believe that everyone that is part of an ecosystem should benefit from the business deal that we are implementing. And this creates a symbiosis effect that pushes forward the cooperation between the different companies. Now you'll ask me, but why would a company, for example, in Europe, make this compromise and pay a premium? Well, first of all, having access to innovation is good for you. So what we do is that within the negotiation framework, we say, okay, you're going to pay this premium. We're going to innovate jointly together with this company here in Cameroon, and you're going to have exclusive access to for 12 or 24 months or whatever contract we can, terms we can have to this innovation. So you'll have a comparative advantage going into the market, having either a raw material at a preferential price or at an exclusivity that no one else will have. That means you'll be able to gain market share according to the demand from your consumer. Second is that we create stories around what we're building in terms of community empowerment and being able to get this premium all the way down to startups or communities that will benefit from it. Now, the companies that are paying this premium as well, what they can do is utilize this in order to have conscious branding. That means, for example, instead of just selling chocolate, they sell an emotional story behind the chocolate that people buy. And here we help companies build up this emotional branding that binds them emotionally with their consumers. That means increase the customer loyalty, increases the repetition of sales, and therefore decreases their marketing costs and increases their profit. Because once the consumers know that they're not just buying chocolate, that within their chocolate that they're buying, there is ingredients that are sourced ethically, and this ethical sourcing, this circularity, is empowering entire communities, then it becomes a very strong emotional bond. And that means, you're hooking your consumers with emotions, with purpose, with consciousness. And we know very well that today, a lot of the consumers are actually very attached to this type of stories. So this is all the symbiosis infinity loop that enables companies to innovate, communities to be empowered, and other firms in developing market to really increase their profit and be able to differentiate themselves through innovation and consumer loyalty.
Right. One last question I've got for Eugene is that the challenges that you are facing in doing what you do. I'm sure there are challenges.
Yeah, of course, The challenges are numerous. I think that first of all, the challenge for us is mostly to be able to find the right companies or the right people that have the right mindset and that really want to bring this circularity within their supply chain. There are so many companies nowadays that claim to be sustainable, claim to have an ESG approach, and this is great. Everything that's strategy with ESG and circularity on paper, and that want to have the certificate and the diplomas, but don't want to go beyond that. So we go beyond that. We believe that having an ESG strategy and sustainability strategy is absolutely great. But we are here to take the companies beyond that and to really have a practical approach that really creates a deep and long-lasting impact with the business that we're making. So the challenges are many, but I think that when your heart is at the right place and you connect with the right people that have exactly the same mindset as you, with the same purpose and same vision, then it becomes easier to move forward. Of course, in those times of uncertainty with what's happening around the world, and especially in the Middle East, I think that having circularity in your supply chain and looking at the long-term reliability of your supply chain by really securing multi-year agreements that would benefit everyone on a much larger scale and much longer scale is essential, because it brings reliability, it brings certainty, and of course it brings afterwards stability within your whole business processes and business environment.
Absolutely, Jane. There is so much to learn about all this from you. And I'm sure a lot of businesses, a lot of producers, a lot of other people would want to connect with you. What's the best way for them to do so?
Thank you. Yes. So the best way is to go visit our website, sigconsulting.net, or to find me on LinkedIn. So sorry, there's a mistype here. It's Jean-Christian Rindoni. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you can send me an email at jc@sigconsulting.net. We are always looking for new opportunities to serve communities and companies and cooperatives around the world to put their materials or their commodities out there. And of course, we're always looking for companies that are looking to either initiate or scale their circularity within their supply chain, with always the long-term vision of co-creation of local transformation at source, because we believe that cooperatives and communities have the heart of of their business, of what they do, of their growth and the material or agricultural products that they are growing. So it is their livelihood, it is their life. While companies in developing market or developed markets, they have the funds, they have the knowledge, and they have the technical capabilities. So putting everything together, when you combine brain and heart and resources, a lot of magic can happen together, and everyone can benefit from it. And we're here to help. So don't hesitate to reach out.
Wonderful. With this, it's set up on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Take care.